Feminism means women are people deserving of equal rights. That's a simple definition. It is not scary, it is not threatening, it literally means women are equal, that's it, right?
Or it's an anti-man.
Right, and so all it is like what you're saying is absolutely true, but we just have to be more explicit on making sure people understand that it is an economic issue when you're being discriminated against. If you can't get fair wages, that is an economic issue, and maybe that's because of your racial identity, right? So I think all of these issues are connected.
There's a historic divide on the sort of center left between, and this is true of the activist left as well, actually, between a community of people who say, look, if we just fix the economy, we fix everything. And then there's a community of people who say, you know, actually, we've tried to do that at various points in time, but because we did not attend to the way in which economic injustice affects different communities differently, and overlaps and intersects with other kinds of systemic and like built-in inequalities, race, gender, etc., then it didn't work, right? So like we look at the aspects of the New Deal that made that were huge, and overall had a positive effect and were progressive, but because of how certain communities were locked out, didn't help communities of color, right? Same thing with returning college grants for returning vets, etc. It's the way Social Security was calculated and how that affected women who didn't work outside the home. Like, you can't, right? So it's not saying, and this is the problem, and this is where I think the Democrats, we really fuck ourselves over, because we are afraid to talk about how, look, things that help, that we're afraid to talk about race and gender, etc., in ways that don't feed into this narrative. Or we don't know how to, right? It suggests that we're actually pitting each other, which we're not. We're making sure. This is really John Powell stuff, right? This is saying, like, I'm going to go read Professor John Powell. That what you actually have to do is when you're devising policies and you're developing policies, you look at the communities that are worse off now, and you make sure that your solutions are helping them, and therefore it will help everyone, which we know time and time again is actually the way it works. That is the policy vision. I know we don't talk about policy anymore on the left, but hey, that's the actual.
That's not true.
We are currently in a world where it's a given the Democrats are going to have like a 7-8 point edge in basically any election. And it's still a 50-50 of how things are going to go because of gerrymandering, because of the Electoral College, because the Senate is a fucked up thing from slavery. And so, why is it so hard? The Republicans have no problem cheating to win. You've got it in Georgia, you've got it in North Dakota, it's everywhere. Why are we so afraid of saying, hey, when we win, we're going to fix this shit so it doesn't happen? That seems so
I mean, part of it, some of that requires constitutional amendment.
Not
Senate, but there's a big movement towards statehood for D.C. and Puerto Rico. And once they have full control government 2020,
the fact that D.C. has the same number of electoral votes.
Pass the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Pass the Supreme Court.
Efforts to give felons back their right to vote after the local ways that you built it up, and this is part of the federal system. You gotta engage the local level. Getting the state assemblies and legislators, senates is huge for redistricting.
Agreed, but like.
All right, thanks, man. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, we are fighting. There is.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Let's hear it.
Hi, I'm John from Salt Lake. Big Secular Talk fan.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Republicans run online to their base saying things like Dems want to abolish borders or end Medicare. Is that a strategy that works for them? And should we do something similar? Or to be more honest, should we go low or go high? I think has been the argument lately. And what would going low look like?
I'd say mock that, first of all. I'd just say mock that. Because that's like the idea of the Democrat, like we all get in the back room. We all got in the back room and we're like, all right, so we're all going to abolish borders, right? We do on day one. Like, that's just preposterous. And I feel like that we sit back and let Trump at his rallies just run roughshod and say preposterous things. So I think step one is laugh at that, mock it, check it, and make sure the media is doing their job. Because unfortunately, I think the media will take little sound bites of something salacious or silly he says, and that becomes the news story for 24 hours, as opposed to the 56 factually incorrect policy things Trump said where he lies, and they just kind of let that go.
So guys, we have 5 minutes. I just wanted to get some quick closing remarks from everyone. So Sally, we can start with you.
Yeah, I'm being called way over there. Well, I just want to say on the when they go low, we go high, it was really interesting because I feel like Democrats, the left writ large, when Michelle Obama said it, and we thought we were going to win, we were all for it. And then when we lost, suddenly we're like, well, that was a fucking bad idea. And, you know, here's the funny thing I think about principles, which is principles are right, period, no matter what. So if you believe, when they go low, we go high, you believe it. You believe it whether it's going to work in one moment or it isn't going to work in another. And what I think is, I will leave us with this, in addition to, I'm just going to agree with everything they say, so I'll say that in advance, but is if we are in a ugly moment in our politics, in our policies, in the things that are becoming normalized in our discourse, in our media. If we let Donald Trump and his acolytes define our values too, define the way we behave, they set our North Star, then we've already lost. Then we have already lost. So this is a moment not to be rethinking, because that's not a matter of tactics, it's a matter of principle. This is not a moment to let them set our agenda. For our moral guidance and our principles, we have to be clear on what we believe in.
I guess in closing, I'll just say, I'll respond on the when they go low, we go high thing. It depends what we mean. So if it means like, oh, when they go low, we should also get in the gutter and like be really bad people. Well, no, I don't agree with that. But if it just means like, oh, when they go low, let's fight really, really, really hard. And let's be principled, like Tyler was saying, then I totally agree. Let's fight really hard, let's be principled. And I honestly believe that in a real battle of ideas and competing philosophies and ideologies, that doing the right thing is very popular. And I think that this notion that like, oh, now the right is unbeatable or something, we can win if we just stay principled and fight on the issues, and we're anti-corruption, and I think that we'll win in the long term.
I think that, you know, for the next 2 weeks, we need, if you're concerned about the future of the direction of the country, then you need to donate or volunteer or do something tangible to help the party that we all care about. And that's where our focus needs to be, not on whether or not you agree with me or him, or, like, that's irrelevant, right? Because, you know, there are people's lives at stake in this particular moment. Additionally, I just think in 2016, you know, the idea that Donald Trump is some sort of political genius when he won by 70,000 votes across 3 states, when one of them had more voter suppression than the margin that he won by, and we had a foreign government attack our election. We had the Comey letter 10 days before. I'm just articulating the facts and the reasoning as to why the outcome was the way it was. And I just think that the election could have gone either way, because all of those things were unprecedented. I mean, a foreign government has not attacked our election in as pervasive a way as it did in 2016. And so I think that fundamentally, as American citizens, we need to be focusing on pushing the country in a progressive direction. And for the next 2 weeks, whatever you are doing in order to help with that effort, I think that that's where we should be focused.
Vote for the ground game. Vote for ground game, build out a bigger party, and have a long-term view.
I'm going to speak to you and you two, tie-dye, so quickly ask questions. And
Okay. My name is Brian. So basically my question is regarding Medicare for All. I know there's a lot of analysis on terms of how much it's going to cost. I don't see a whole lot of comprehensive kind of analysis on how it's going to be paid for. I know Bernie Sanders talked about tax on Wall Street speculation and increase in obviously income tax and stuff like that, but have you seen anything that really has a real comprehensive analysis of how people, do you think that kind of is an issue that some Democrats are having in terms of being able to answer?
Well, it saves money, so I always find this conversation a little silly. Because it's like, the real question is, how can we afford to do what we're doing right now?
yeah, and I want to get there. But just quickly, that would be the biggest sort of source of corporate welfare in American history. As a company myself, as a business owner, I would love to get healthcare costs off my books. And then,
Really quickly, because I gotta wrap up.
You guys all alluded to embracing democratic populism as a strategy, but populist preferences are generally putting on the table. How do you actually establish a sustainable policy platform for the party?
Real quick. Anybody? Real quick.
You stick with the basic principles of we actually want to do good by people and we're willing to have a debate of ideas instead of a debate for better. That's the culture piece of it.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. It will be, but later on today, okay?
How do we get our generation to vote?